What's going on, guys? This is my 1988 Mercury 200. It's a 2.4 liter two-stroke V6 and I want to make it louder. In my opinion, all the old two-stroke V6s sound really good, especially the 2.4 and the 2.5. And Mercury used to make an offshore style midsection where the exhaust exited above the lower unit, or if your motor is mounted high enough, above the water even. And those go for around $1,500, $2,500 online, it seems like. I thought about buying one, but I'm a fabricator. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to cut and weld things, and I decided I'm just gonna make my own version and see what happens. So let's do it. Okay, so this is a 20-inch midsection, very similar to what I have on the boat. Seems like the most common way to make these things louder is to pull the can or the liner out and then take a long drill bit from the top and drill holes through this bottom area right here. I see why people do that. You're not risking really making it any weaker by cutting holes in the front of it, and you're not really changing the look at all. Most people wouldn't even notice there's holes there if you didn't already know. But I really like the look of a snout, so my plan is to cut holes right through the front. I'm gonna avoid the center. I'm not gonna cut a big rectangle in it or anything. I'm gonna try not to pull too much material out, but I'm gonna hole saw a couple of holes right in the side, and we'll see what happens. I think the can is still in mine, so I'll cut a couple of holes, see how it sounds. If I want it to be louder, I could pull the can out, or I could make the holes bigger or add some more holes. And then at the end of the day, when I'm happy with it, I'm just gonna build my snout around whatever I have. So let's see what happens. First things first, let's take this thing out and see how it sounds before I do anything to it. Alright guys, I just cut 2.5 inch holes right through the midsection, so let's go get this thing on the water and see how it sounds. Alright, we're in the water. Man, I swear, even though those holes are a good bit underwater, this thing's already louder. All right, guys. Well, I've taken the boat out a few more times after those last video clips, and let me tell you where I'm at with it. So originally I was really happy with it. When you trim it up out of the water, it does get a bit louder and it sounds really good. I don't think those video clips did justice with it. It does make a difference. And when I'm driving the boat around, I can't really tell a difference, which is honestly for the best, because I don't want this thing to be blowing my ears out, obnoxiously loud, screaming all the time when I'm just trying to go up and down the river and have fun. All I'm really looking for here is to have a good looking snout and to be able to trim it up at the sandbar, make a little bit more noise and sound good. So I was leaning towards, I'm happy with it, let's just build the snout and call it a day. But I would like it to be a little louder. So I've been going back and forth in my head about it for a while now. Do I pull the can out? What do I do here? I think if I pull the can out, we're gonna go from here to here. I don't know. I've never done this before. This is all trial and error for me, but that's what I think. I really think it's gonna go from, I'm gonna skip right over that middle ground and just go from here to way too loud. And yeah, so I'm trying to find a good middle ground between those two. And I've thought maybe I just pull the can out and build like a block off plate for my snout. That way I can make it quiet when I want and have it loud when I want. But again, I think a good middle ground would be better. So I think what I've decided to do here is to take a 1/2 inch or a 5/8 drill bit and drill through the can, through my holes here. Worst case scenario, I have another can, so I can just pull this out and put another one in, and we're right back to where we are right now. Or hopefully best case scenario, it's a little louder but not too loud. So I'm gonna drill a couple of holes through this thing, and then let's get this thing back on the water. All right, let's see how this thing sounds. Back here, you can hear it a lot better. I think that's all I'm gonna get. I don't want to go Swiss cheesing this thing up, and I don't want it to be too loud, so I think we're gonna call it good and build the snout now. Let's get a little startup clip. Does justice, but there is a very big difference between underwater and above water now, and it still isn't too bad driving it around. You can barely tell the difference. Cool. All right, I think it's time to go build the snout. All right, time to start cutting some metal. I have some 1/4 inch thick 6061 aluminum I'm going to be using, and as of right now, all I really know is this might be the height I do where I drew that line. I'm not sure. It looks like the real ones are a bit taller, probably like that or so, on the Ridgeback mids, from what I can tell in pictures anyway. I think I want to make mine a bit slimmer, and I don't want to have the hole here on the bottom. I want it on the front, so I'm probably going to come out with a slight taper on the top, and then have a slanted cut right here with an open front. But yeah, a lot of times when I build stuff, I figure it out as I go, and things take shape and make sense as I go. So I'm gonna start cutting metal and we'll see what happens. All right, there's my bottom plate. Wish me luck. All right, I got that bottom piece cut out. I also cut out a top piece, very similar shape. I think I'm gonna tack both of these on where I want them, and then I'll take some measurements and cut out my side pieces. All right, we're getting our bottom piece in position and tacked right now. Then I'm gonna tack the top piece how I want it, and then measure the sides and build the sides and get those on there, and we'll go from there. So I've been out here just looking at this thing, trying to think of what to do next. Originally, I was gonna put it around here, put a slight taper down, and then build my sides. But the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking I might make this more slim and do it straight like this. Gosh, I don't know. I don't want it to look just like a bulky rectangle and it's like I didn't take my time and it's lazy, but I really think the straight design is gonna fit the cowl and the shape of the boat better. Check it out. I decided to just go ahead and cut it straight, and worst case scenario, I can just remake the side pieces if I don't like it, but I think I like it. I think that's our winner right there. It's not fit up perfect. I just have it taped, loosely taped so I can look at it, but I think that's it. I think it's time to get that thing tacked and fit up better, and then it's time to weld. Okay, it's welded, blended, sanded, and ready for paint. I barely have any experience welding aluminum, so that was interesting, especially welding to cast from 1988, but I think it worked out good. It blended out nice. Let's get some paint on there. This is my paint combo for today. Normally I use that self-etching primer and Rust-Oleum semi-gloss or gloss black enamel on any fabrication project I do, but we're going with the OEM black so it matches the lower unit this time. This stuff sprays out super thin. You gotta put, I'd say, at least 2 coats, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm at 2 coats. I don't need that paint for anything else, so I'm just gonna go till the can runs out. I think we're gonna end up with probably 4 or 5 coats, and then we'll get that lower unit back on there and see how it looks. All right, nothing left to do now but let the paint dry a bit, and then we'll get this out on the driveway, hook the hose up, test run it, make sure we have water pressure. I changed my water pump while the lower was off, and then we're off to the river. But looking at this thing now, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm excited to get it out in the daylight and in the river and see how it looks. All right. guys, I built my own offshore style exhaust snout. Thanks for watching the video. I think it turned out really good. If I were to do it again, I think maybe I would add a little bit of a taper to that top plate, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Again, thanks you guys for watching. See you next time. Love this old ski boat.